Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 2 of the quarantine. Woohoo! Another 24 hours or so has passed here. Still feeling pretty good. Something that you may notice over the course of this video is that there is construction going on right outside my house, literally right outside of my house. I basically share a wall with the construction. And it's happening on all sides. There's some stuff going on over there. There's some stuff going on over there, and there's some construction going on the other side too. The only place where there isn't construction going on is right in front of me, and I am greeted with a lovely view of the neighbor's apartment. Not a lot of natural light here. The reason it's so dark back there is that if you can, basically right there is a window, and there should be light coming through that window, just like there should be some coming through the bathroom, although the door is closed. They boarded up those windows about 6 months ago, and so my only source of natural light in this apartment has been right in front of me. So it's been an absolute joy having my friends at the construction site keeping me company through these isolating times. So that's my situation. I am amazed at how long cats can sleep. I always kind of knew that, but I got my sweet little baby Moyete a few weeks ago, a little more than a month ago now. For the most part, usually I'm out doing stuff during the day. Not all day, certainly. Now that I'm here all the time, it's just like, Jesus, this cat can really sleep. I woke up at I had to wake up at 6 o'clock to teach my class. And she woke up with me, and she was running around for, an hour and a half or so. Then she went to sleep, and then got up once at noon. 5 hours ago, and then she's been sleeping ever since. That's pretty amazing. I consider myself a pretty solid sleeper, but that's pretty amazing. She's probably going to be sleeping for the rest of the day. Yesterday I had a sort of curious encounter with the quarantine, and something that I'm still finding is a bit of an issue. There are gaps of motivation for me. So yesterday morning, for example, I woke up and it was Sunday, and so I didn't have any classes. The construction wasn't going. One day a week that it's not going. And so I stayed in bed. I watched a movie, Easy Rider. Do not recommend. Very weird. I usually like movies of that kind. Sort of artsy movies that clearly have a message, especially they clearly have a message about what it means to be an American. That's really my bread and butter. But it was bad. It was bad. Anyway, I was in bed for most of the morning. I had a nice relaxing morning, watched the movie, had my morning tea, had breakfast in bed, very nice. But then the movie ended, and I'm sitting there in bed in my apartment, and I'm like, okay, what now? And so this is something that I've noticed over the course of the quarantine, is that really, when you get right down to it, this is the kind of thing that I have been waiting for a while. So I'm still getting paid because I'm under contract. I'm getting paid. My class schedule is very light. I have one class in the morning and then one class at night, one on Saturdays. So I'm getting paid my regular wage, and I have a bunch of free time to do and explore a bunch of different projects. But I found that my motivation to do those projects has been extremely low, and have been having some trouble sort of regularly keeping myself motivated. Part of the motivation, I guess, for doing this vlog, outside of, just wanting to have a primary source during the quarantine, it was pretty unprecedented times, is that it's something that I can plan to regularly do during the day, and know that there are at least some people who will watch this, Saw 18 people watched it on watched the first video on YouTube, so that's something. So like gives me some degree of accountability for the quarantine. And really, I mean, if I've learned anything with this job, it's got a very weird schedule. So that changes essentially every 5 weeks. So for example, in November to December, I was in class 41 hours a week, and so with lesson planning was doing about like probably like 70 hours a week, something like that. That's a little dramatic, but like 65, 70 hours a week. And then now, for example, I'm in class for like 15 hours a week, planning 20 hours, like with planning, working like 20 hours a week, which is nothing. So what I've found is that structure is key, and that you should have, you should really spend a lot of mental energy making a plan, and not only making a plan, but sort of like mentally committing yourself to the plan. Because it's one thing to make a plan, it's another thing to actually follow up on the plan. And this is a lesson that I have had to learn many times in the last year or so. So that's where I'm sitting right now. I've got a bunch of ideas for things that I'd like to do this quarantine. Looks like we could be here for a while. And I've been sort of making mental plans of how I might actually go about doing that. Again, that's another thing from actually doing it, but it's also better than doing nothing. So I have so far been playing a lot of BioShock. On PlayStation Plus, it was free. The entire BioShock series was free, starting a few months ago. And so I've been playing a lot of BioShock. I have been marveling at how much my cat can sleep. And I still do have to work. I'm teaching online, so I mean that is some structure. But it's a lot different when you don't have the sort of time constraints of your regular schedule. I'm also doing some bike rides. I do that at night. Make sure there's as few people as possible out. But I mean, this is a studio apartment. This is not a lot of space. So it's important that you stay active. You can still social distance on a bike. In fact, you're doing something wrong if you're not socially distancing while on a bike ride. So that's another thing that I'm doing here. I'll keep you guys updated on the progress of my goals over time. So far, if anyone wants to follow me on Strava, if you're interested in fitness at all, like if you do regular bike rides, regular runs, anything like that, Strava is really good for tracking your sort of statistics. How far you went, where did you go, how fast were you going, what was your average pace, that kind of stuff. So yeah, if anyone wants to follow me there, that's where you can keep track of my bike rides. And then yeah, I mean, I guess the rest is sort of up to me to do it. So yeah, that is day 2 of Tales from the Quarantine. Daniel Miles' vlog through the coronavirus. So, I will see you on, I'll see you tomorrow for day 3. Appreciate you guys tuning in. See you tomorrow.